Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel. So today I wanted to answer a question that one of my loves actually asked me on Instagram, and it was in a post where my kids were eating my delicious vegan avocado sandwich, avocado mushroom sandwich that I really enjoy making. The kids love it. Tell everybody what you're eating.
Hi. I'm eating french fries and mushroom sandwich, and I already bought this part.
Okay, you're eating what kind of what's in your mushroom sandwich? Mushrooms? Do you know what else?
Onions.
Onions?
Onions.
Good. And what's the green stuff?
Guacamole.
It's what we use to make guacamole.
Avocado.
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 My smart little girl. Do you like this vegan sandwich?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
Joel actually ate one whole sandwich, right? And now he's eating the other half of L's.
Yeah.
Yeah. With French fries.
Mhm.
Yum, and he has another round of French fries. Go, JJ. And I've been, my husband and I have been really good at educating our children on what veganism is as it relates to foods and the treatment of animals. We talk a lot at length about what happens to animals, so my children completely understand, as much as a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old can understand, that when people eat meats, that animal's life was taken in order for that to happen. And when things are not vegan, we talk about them, and my kids have been taught to ask if something is vegan or not, because they know that it could be vegan and it could not be vegan, but it could be the same exact thing. So for example, a cookie could be vegan and it could also not be vegan. Or potato chips could be vegan or they could not be vegan. And of course food can easily be vegan and it can easily not be vegan. Well, it's probably not easily vegan, but I feel like with veganism, because our foods that are vegan and not vegan look the same most of the time, unless it's clearly like that's chicken on a bone, it's not that easy. So we've taught our children to make sure they ask those questions so that they're making better choices. So the question was, what would you do if when they grow up they want to try meat or stuff non-vegan? And my honest answer is, then they try it. And the reason why I feel that way is because I'm not like a vegan Nazi. I did not find veganism when I was 4 years old and 2 years old, like my children. I did not find veganism until I was 30. I was almost 31, a few months shy of being 31. So I think it's unreasonable for me to feel like disappointed or upset, if my children decide when they get older that they want to eat things that are not vegan, while I'm not going to, open them up to it by saying, hey, do you want to have chicken or do you want to have beef? I'm not going to open them up to that. And if we are in an environment where there are meat options, I will say to them, no, that's not vegan. I will. But they're going to grow up to be adults, and they're going to grow up to be thinking human beings that think, and they have a brain, and I want them to have choices. And I don't feel as though me saying to them, you must be this or you must do that forever and ever and ever is going to be healthy. So the way that I feel is, if they decide when they get a little bit older that they want to have things that are not vegan, when they're out and about, like with friends, I just imagine that when they get to be school age, like middle school, high school, they'll be going out with friends. And what will it be like if they go out with friends and they go to restaurants where they don't have vegan options? I don't know what that will be like, but what I'm hoping will happen is our children will have enough experience of being in places like that, because right now we are not the vegan family that only goes to vegan restaurants. No, we go to all of the restaurants and we're showing them and teaching them how do you customize the menu. And people will be put in situations, my children will be put in situations where their friends will say, hey, let's go to McDonald's. And then of course, what do they get? I have no idea what will they get, but we've taught them, like, we go to McDonald's for French fries. And I know that there is a concern about the oil being the same oil that they cook the meats in and things like that. And I'm not as concerned about that, because I feel like if my children were to go to McDonald's and with friends and there was a lot going on and everybody's getting hamburgers and chicken nuggets and all that kind of stuff, and my son was to say, hey, I'll just get French fries, that's a win for me. That's a major win. And you know, I know there was a comment when I did a video before, people notified me or informed me that Burger King's veggie burgers are not actually vegan because they are made with milk. I believe it's milk. I don't think it's egg, but I could be wrong. But if my son was faced with the option of his friends want to go to get some fast food, where do we go? And he doesn't just want to eat French fries, I would be satisfied with him saying like, hey, let's go to Burger King. And then not making it a big deal because he's vegan, but then ordering the veggie burger. Like, I'd be satisfied with that. I'd be so happy with that. And to me, that's a major win, you know? But that will take a lot of time and a lot of progress. And you know, if my children end up, like I said, going off and deciding, hey mom, I don't want to do this anymore, then you know, as long as they're in my house and I'm actually cooking the meals, their meals will be vegan. So there's nothing that they're gonna be able to do around that. Like, I'm not gonna be the person who's cooking my children meats because that's what they want to eat now while we are embracing veganism. I won't do that. They're not gonna have that kind of stuff here. Not my children. However, when they go out, you know, visit friends or visit relatives, whatever, out on their own, and they want to go out and they want to get something to eat, that's fine. If they bring it home, I'm fine with that too. But I'm not gonna be cooking it. That's what I'm not gonna be doing. She ain't gonna be cooking it. As parents, we want what's best for our children, and I know that this journey that my husband and I with the kids have embarked on as vegans is one of the best things that we can do for them, because we're preventing so many diseases and sicknesses that our children could potentially come across. And not to say that our children will never have any sicknesses, but from what we understand from veganism through the research is the diseases that are caused by diet, those are not issues that vegans have to deal with. Vegans who eat clean and vegans who eat healthy choices and focus more on whole foods and plant-based diets versus the vegans who of course eat the junk food. I do understand that not all vegans are healthy, and veganism is not synonymous with healthy. I understand that. But what I mean is we're doing good for them by introducing them to a vegan lifestyle, because as someone who has struggled with her weight her entire life, you know, my husband has not. My husband has never had to worry about weight. In fact, now he's in his 30s and he's now concerned about his weight being a little too high, even though he still has a very thin frame. Whereas me, I'm like, listen, I've been struggling with this since I was like 6. You know, I was the girl that was 230 pounds in college, you know, when all my friends are looking snatched and rocking bikinis and stuff like that. I was with them doing the same thing, because yes, I was 230 pounds rocking a bikini, but I was overweight and I was unhealthy, and I've had to struggle with that my whole life. I had to get healthy. I don't want my children to have to get healthy. I want them to just be healthy. I want them to just live a healthy lifestyle. And I know that we've done our best to do that, because when my kids think of hunger, they associate that with the good foods that they can eat. As soon as my children get hungry, the first thing that they ask for is a banana or an apple or, you know, some type of fruit. And when those things aren't available and we offer other options, my kids are cool with that. You know, 4-year-old and 2-year-old, they eat salad, they eat vegetables, they eat fruits, they love brown rice, they love wheat bread, and we don't get like sugary cereals. And you know, while there has been like 1 or 2 occasions when my kids have asked for a sugary cereal, but it was because there was a character on the box. Once there was Elsa on a box, and then once there was Nemo on a box, and they wanted that cereal because for some reason, you know, the kids think like they're in the box and they're not. But outside of that, we don't give them like the high sugary cereals. We eat Cheerios, we eat Life cereal, and we eat Special K with berries from time to time. And that's really it. You know, they drink almond milk and they drink water. We do give our kids juices, but we always dilute it, 50% juice, 50% water, and sometimes it's more like 80% water and 20% juice. Sometimes when I'm making it, I make it a little less sweet. And we don't really do a lot of junky foods because, you know, it's hard to find junky vegan foods like when you order out, but we do eat out a lot. We go to Indian restaurants, Mexican restaurants, we go to the normal dive bars and the normal places, and we just try to find things that are vegan in those environments. So by exposing them to living vegan in a world that's not catering to vegans, I feel like they'll be able to handle it, but I know it will be challenging. Like if our kids go to a pizza restaurant, what I want them to know is you can have pizza, just order it with no cheese, which is what we do when we order Domino's. And that's the kind of like life tool as a vegan that we're equipping them with. So it's not gonna be like they're gonna go to these places and be like, oh my God, what do I do? They'll have this experience. Our kids will know, hey, your friends are going to KFC. This is what you can get from KFC. It's not gonna be a lot, and it won't be something that you probably wanna do all the time. You know, you will have to avoid those places, and not just because the fact that they don't offer vegan foods, but you need to avoid these places because they don't make healthy food. But if you are in that situation, this is what you do. This is how you tackle that situation and you move on. And I also feel like it might be easier for our children when they get older to maybe embark on a vegetarian lifestyle, because vegetarianism allows for them to have the milk and the cheese and the egg. And I wouldn't want my children to eat vegetarian like all the time. And I wouldn't want them to eat vegetarian and then eat the animal version of things. So like, I don't want my kids to go vegetarian and then eat cow's milk or drink cow's milk with their cereal. You know, I don't want that. But if something is made with milk, like if they go to, for instance, IHOP. As a vegan, can't go to IHOP because IHOP pancakes are made with milk and they're made with egg. But if my children wanted to go to IHOP with their friends for breakfast or something and they decided to get the pancakes, I'd be cool with that. But don't get the eggs. I don't want you eating the eggs. Don't get a glass of milk and drink cow's milk down. Don't get cheese on your foods, you know, if you can avoid it, if at all possible. Like, those are the things that I think I would be okay with. Now, I've not been vegan for a full year, so I still have the mentality of someone who just left vegan, who just stopped eating meat. Like, I've only been vegan for like 5 seconds, and I don't necessarily have the very strict mentality of someone who may have been vegan for like 5 years, 10 years. But when my children are teenagers, which for my son will be in like 9 years, I will have 9 years under my belt. I might be talking a different tune then, y'all. I might be thinking differently. I might not be as open to what I'm talking about now. As you know, I'm a human. I can change my mind. And the more deeper in my beliefs and in my values I become, the more strict I will be with wavering from what I believe. Whereas right now, like I'm saying, I really do feel like if my children got older and decided they wanted to eat vegetarian foods on occasions, foods that are made vegetarian, not, like I said, not eating eggs, not sprinkling cheese on stuff, and not drinking milk, I wouldn't accept that. But I don't know what I'll say about that in 9 years. I have no idea. Sorry to make this video like super long. I didn't think it would be. I thought it would be quick, but I just wanted to give a lot of information, especially for people who have children now, and maybe you haven't transitioned your children to veganism yet, or maybe you have transitioned them to veganism, but you're having a difficult time with it. I think that you need to be like completely open with yourself and be vulnerable, but at the same time set your values and set your standard, and then you just transition into it slowly, because you can't expect for everybody to be on board 100% of the time all the time. And like I said, if my children decide that they want to go and eat meat, that's what can I do? They have to live and they have to explore and they have to learn. It didn't happen for me overnight, and I can't expect for that to be the same situation with my kids. So thank you for that question. I thought it was a great question. I had to answer it. I had to in a video, and I would love to know from those of you who are vegan, how are you dealing with this with your children? Are they also vegan? How do they feel about not having meat anymore? Are you ever put in situations where they are asking for things that are not vegan? How do you deal with that? And if your children are young and they're vegan, what are some of the things that you foresee possibly happening with their veganism as they get older, and how do you think you'll react? Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please share this video with others. Of course, subscribe to my channel, and as always, I love you for watching. Bye.